Hello everybody, welcome back. This is episode number 12 of the Vanarama YouTube's Football Manager 2018 experiment series with Celtic and Rangers in the English League. And here we go. We're just over halfway through the season. Celtic are sitting in 15th place in the Premier League. So season 1 is not going great, but they've got their heads above water. They got promoted with Huddersfield. I'm not sure when up with them. I know Fulham went up because they won the playoffs. I know Celtic went up. I can't recall who won the league that season. Some of you might know. But they got their heads above water at the moment. They're doing okay. They could be doing a lot better. And I think they need to get themselves some players, or they would have had to get themselves some players. Let's have a look if they did do that. So no, they didn't. They didn't bring anyone else in. But they sold Anton Tinnerholm for 2.7 million. Pardon me. He's 31-year-old right back, so no loss there. A little bit of money in the bank, so that's decent then. They've loaned a couple of players out, so they must be certain that they're going to do okay, and they're going to keep themselves up with the team that they've got. John Kennedy's still the manager there, and he's doing a good job. Fair play to him. He got them into the Premier League. And if one hazard a guess, I think he's going to keep them in the Premier League this season. Let's go on to their schedule and let's have a look what they're doing in the Carabao Cup. Now, they lost that game, again 2-0, lightning struck twice with that one. They lost 2-0 away to West Ham in the Carabao Cup, unfortunately. They drew Arsenal, but they knocked Arsenal out of the FA Cup in the third round. Well. Fourth round they won, they beat Norwich, so they got a fifth round tie away to Derby. That's winnable. Derby are in the Championship, so Celtic could end up in the quarter-final of the FA Cup as well. So a very good cup season, but they need to stay in the Premier League. Let's hope they can do it. But first of all, we're going to go over to League One and have a look at how Rangers are progressing. So here we are, we're in League One and Rangers are doing better now. We did say when they dropped off that they're just a little bit off the playoffs. Paul Clement came in as manager. And look, Scott Arfield, the 33-year-old, is the best player in the division at the moment by average rating. So they've certainly turned a bit of a corner. Have they signed any players in January though? I think they needed one or two, at least one or two. And they've signed a lot more than just one or two. They've pushed the boat out a bit actually. Maximilian Vauber, I think that's how you pronounce it, a 24-year-old centre-back signed from Burnley. They picked up a few. Well, Maitland-Niles could be a bit of a bargain player maybe. Jack O'Connell on loan from Fulham. Matt Smith from Hearts. So they picked up some players. George Miller. I don't know whether they're just bulking out their squad with these. But I can't see how any of these are really going to fit in, except for obviously the Josh Hope on loan. Jack O'Connell from Fulham on loan. So they picked up some decent players in January. They've sold some on as well. They still up an awful lot of money and they're moving in the right direction. So, FA Cup, they were in the third round. They went 8. They lost 1-0 at home to Everton. So not a bad score. Everton are Premier League. And obviously they've turned a corner in this. They're out of the Checkatrade Trophy. Everton, pardon me, the Everton under-23s knocked them out of the Checkatrade Trophy. And the Everton seniors knocked them out of the FA Cup. So no cups for Rangers to worry about. Just full-blown League One games. Get themselves back up into the Championship. So looking better for both, I think. I think Celtic, although are still in a precarious position, there are still two teams below them, and they're one win away from jumping up to 12th place. So I think, hazarding a guess, I think Celtic are going to stay up, and I think Rangers, because of how much better they're doing, let's have a little look at. I'm going to have another quick look at Rangers actually, because I just want to see the sort of the way that the results are working out at the moment. So they haven't lost in the league since the 12th of November. They haven't lost a league game since then. So I fully think that they're going to go on and get promoted now. How many points away from second are they? Well, they're a long, long way from second place. I'm going to hazard a guess and say, an educated guess, and say that Rangers will win the playoffs. I can't see them catching Leeds unless Leeds really start falling off. But Sunderland are running away with it at the moment. Sunderland, Leeds and Rangers for promotion in there. I can't see Lincoln, Portsmouth or Doncaster causing them any problems in the playoffs if they can keep up what they're doing right now. So, instead of talking about it, let's conclude this season and see how they finish. Okay, we're May 31st, the season has concluded, and there you go, Celtic have stayed up by 2 points by the skin of their teeth, only won 9 games all season. Any big ones? Oh, they won 2-1 at Old Trafford, there's a big one for them. They beat Everton twice, which is decent. So, well, Everton actually down there with them. But as far as the big boys are concerned, they only really won 1 game against them. They held Liverpool, which is good. They held Man United, so they did good over Man United, and they held Chelsea away. So they had a couple of good results, but 19 losses. They're going to need to trim them losses down, because 37 points would otherwise usually relegate them in other seasons. I think they're lucky that Fulham and Middlesbrough were so poor, and the teams around them like Palace, Bournemouth and Southampton who ended up going down. Southampton going down is a bit of a surprise, mind you, but still, doesn't matter. Season's over, Celtic stayed up, so you're going to be happy with that one. Let's go see if Rangers got themselves promoted in the end. Okay, so this doesn't make for good reading for Rangers, because unless they finish second, they didn't go up. So no, they ended up finishing 9th. They had a poor end to the season, unfortunately, and went completely against what I thought would happen. Because you look at this down here, we picked it up from the FA around about this area, wasn't it? By year, Bradford City would have been the first game. So that big run of not losing any games for a while fell on its ass, especially in April. The end of the season was awful, absolutely god awful. So if they'd have got themselves a few points from that, they finished in 9th, they needed to finish in the top 6, they were 2 points away. So they shot themselves badly in the foot there. They're going to need to sort themselves out big time. I mean, the finances are only okay. I think they're going to need to have a little bit of a squad overhaul here. They got manager still Paul Clement. I don't think it will look good on him as far as the board are concerned, with regards to him and not making the playoffs. But they will need to out a lot of players and bring a lot in. I think they picked up an awful lot of dead wood along the way, and they could have done it a lot better, but they didn't. So 9th place in League One, another season in League One, unfortunately, but they do have money in the bank. Well, they should have money in the bank, unless they're paying an awful lot of players an awful lot of money. What do I do that for? There we are. I mean, there's some big wages there. Looks like, yeah, 27. Yeah, them 3 players, they got to get shot of them, make a lot of money on them, and then they got fair wages to offer people. Then they've got to get rid of those 3 players and make as much money out of them as they can. Jacob Murphy's value is dropping, unfortunately, because these players are getting older. The older they get, the cheaper they get. So, and Jacob Murphy's only a rotation player, and he's their biggest earner. He didn't have a good season either. Get shot, just get bloody shot of him. So there we go. Rangers, a poor season in truth, finishing 9th. No way they're only the 9th best team in that, but that's where they finished. I say now, let's go and have a little look at the Scottish football. So starting with the Ladbrokes Championship, Gateshead had a relatively average season. So nothing really to shout about there, unfortunately, but that's that. There we go. Let's jump into the Ladbrokes Premiership. And as I had the feeling, Barrow went down again and Hibs won the league again. But I know when I was looking at this during the holiday period that I put it through to get through to this date, Aberdeen were top in the league at one point. So it looks as though Hibs raced through and took it. Let's have a look how they did in Europe. Euro Cup. Oh yeah, they had Mitch. FC Midtjylland again in the Euro Cup group, Standard Liège and Dynamo Kiev. So I think they would have stood something of a chance of going through on this one, but they drew a lot of games, so I don't think they would have. Oh, they did. They got through but got knocked out by Arsenal, and 5-1 on aggregate. That's not too bad, you know. Lost 3-1 away. That's not too bad. So there we go. Lost in the final of the Scottish Cup. So Aberdeen somewhat had the last laugh, but I think Aberdeen would have swapped it for the SPL. But Hibs definitely pushing themselves in the Euro Cup a little, and maybe keeping the coefficients for Scotland up. But unfortunately, obviously, look at that. Champions Cup, Champions playoff. They drew Basel. Probably would have been the best team in that. Let's have a look and see if it'll take us through to that. Let's just have a quick look who they could have had in that. So Champions playoff. So still in some difficult company there, but I still think Basel would have been the best team in that. Maybe if they'd have got like Dynamo or Apoel, Liège, maybe someone like that. If they'd have got someone like that, it may have been a little bit easier for them. But there we go. There's always next season, isn't there? And next season, yep, that's the end of this episode then, that means. So Celtic stayed up, Rangers didn't go up. So Rangers continue to disappoint, Celtic continue to impress. So Rangers fans, sorry, I know you won't like that, but there's still plenty of seasons left in this for us to see how things turn around. But with this one, this is one of those things, we haven't really set a solid target as such. So I believe that it can basically go as far as we want it to. So until it starts becoming uninteresting, I'm going to keep this one going. So that's the end of season number 6 now, guys. So the 10-year point would be 4 years. I think we'll review it after 10 years just to see how things are going. But I believe Celtic could stay in the Premier League. Rangers need to get themselves back in the Championship as soon as possible. But they got some money behind them. Well, they should have some money behind them as long as they get rid of those 3 players we mentioned. But there we go. That's the end of that episode now, guys. We'll start a brand new season in the next one. And let's see if Celtic can push on and see if Rangers can get themselves promoted. But we'll soon see. Until next time, it's cheerio for now. Thank you very much.